Welcome back to the Big Red Zone. We are very excited for today's show. We have the very special guest, personal trainer and founder of New Human Project, Mike Soares. We will get to talk to him all about personal training, ESPN's top 74 list, and get to the second installment of the all-time series, Celtics Edition. All of that and more on this week's episode of the Big Red Zone. Welcome to the podcast. It's Big Red Zone. I'm your host, Big Red. As always, I am joined by my dear friend James, producer John.
Yes, sir.
And our special guest, my good friend from school, Mike Soares. How are you, Mike?
I'm good, bro. I'm feeling good. How are you doing?
I'm good. Good to see you. It's been a long time.
It's been a little bit. I appreciate you hosting the show, having me on it.
Mike we met at Bridgewater State when we went to school. We actually met our first semester, I think. It was definitely like early into our
first semester.
We tried out for the team. Mike is much better than I am. So he made the team. He was a stud for Bridgewater's basketball team. And we played a lot against each other in intramurals, pickup, and he's just a great guy and a stud at basketball. So, so Mike's a personal trainer, right? And so I'm curious, what got you into being a personal trainer and just maybe your journey at Bridgewater, and just talk a little bit about that.
Of course. So in high school, when I was playing basketball, I tore my meniscus, and I thought that like my whole like playing in college dream like was out the window. And we were pretty close with our athletic director, like our trainer, and it was really awesome and rewarding, like him like being able to rehab me and then like get me back on the court. Like that feeling of joy to have like that dream come back to me was pretty powerful. And I was always interested in learning about the body and stuff like that. So right when I went to Bridgewater, I initially signed up for exercise science, and here we are 3 years after school, and I've trained a little over 1,000 people, bro. So it's been pretty cool.
Unreal. That's awesome. Now because we talked about this a couple podcasts ago about injury during sports. That's like mentally, like that's a big hurdle to get over. And especially like, being athletes, it's pretty much like we do that every day. Like we live for that sport. So as I knock over my mic thing here, so that was pretty cool. You've made a great career over it, started a great career, and it's, some of our worst times in life turn into our greatest triumphs. So that's amazing to hear.
I appreciate that.
So now, do you want to tell us about your company that you started, personal training company? You started to talk about that.
So I started New Human January 2019. So if I come back a little bit, right after I graduated from college, I became a trainer at Equinox. Ended up having a lot of clients in person, and a lot of people were reaching out through social media. And my main goal is to help as many people as possible. So I started like an online training business. And then that picked up all of last year, and it was amazing. We ran a lot of basketball camps in different countries. Like I'll talk a little bit more about going to Haiti. Like I went to Haiti, ran a 400 kid camp out there, and it was just awesome. It was just super rewarding. So then I got really like filled up with my schedule with that, because I had my in-person people and my online clients. So I created an app about 2 months ago, officially released it last like 2 weeks ago. And here we are. It's been a hell of a ride.
I saw that. I think I remember when you went to Haiti, because you went with Rock, right? Didn't you?
Yeah,
go with Rock?
Rocky.
Yeah. That looked huge. That like the pictures that you sent, like there was so many kids, and that's got to be like a crazy experience to just work in Haiti. And
100%. And a lot of NBA players have been discovered through that camp. Like Nerlens Noel, he was discovered through that camp.
Really?
Yeah, the guy who runs it, Pierre Malvera, I actually ran into him playing basketball. He was like, "What do you do, bro? You're very athletic." I'm like, "I'm a trainer." Trained him for 20 minutes. He was like, "Come train my kids in Haiti." And literally it was a wrap, just like that. We were like, "All right, let's do it."
That's awesome.
And then also with Rocky, like he has the basketball development. Like right now he's working with a bunch of players. So I was like, "Rocky, come with me." We did it, and here we are.
So Where did you meet the guy from Haiti? Did you meet him at Equinox or did you meet him?
No, just on a random basketball court. He brought 2 7-footers that had just came over from Haiti, and we were just playing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Now, New Human, you said it launched
May 1st.
May 1st, and you already have how many clients? You said over 1,000?
So right now, well, we officially launched January 2019, but the app launched May 1st. Right now on the app, we have almost 400 people using it, but with everybody that trained online last year, plus everybody on right now, it's a little over 1,000.
Wow. And I'm sure the app is blowing up right now, especially like with quarantine going on. Like you can't obviously go to the gyms and work out. So I bet that's huge. I bet the app's blowing up right now.
100%. And I didn't plan on releasing it until right before summer started in like July. But I thought it was like the best timing to get this information out to people. Like I know certain things that people don't, and it would help benefit them physically and mentally. Like right now, a lot of mental stress is going on being in quarantine. So I was like, let's release it. Let's go help some people. And I'm glad like I got that steamroll going.
Yeah. I think it was perfect timing. Like I know personally, like if I was like a lot of people are like, I don't know where to go to the gym. Like I can't go. And really like a lot of people may not have like weights or anything at home. So like that able to look at an app and train at home, like that's so useful.
100%.
Do you have any, now you were talking about some tips for us, and a couple of weeks ago, we came up with our not expert advice on what to do. So you're the best person to go to for that. So is there any suggestions you have during this quarantine, like that people just to stay active and do stuff like that?
Yeah. It's so funny when I bring like these things up, it sounds so simple, but most people aren't doing the most simple things. And if you were to like follow a list of like 5 simple things to do, like your life would be healthier. My favorite one is literally just go outside and walk for 20 minutes a day. Try to find some sort of like follow along workout program. Like a lot of people right now need the accountability. And even if it's like a YouTube video of 15 minutes, like quick 15-minute bodyweight workout, like just having something where you are being held accountable by something else definitely helps. And then everybody right now doesn't necessarily have a schedule. So I've been telling people to schedule their meals. It sounds like kind of crazy, but like, be like, oh, eat every 2 or 3 hours. You'd notice how much you're not snacking, you know?
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of mindless eating right now. Like, oh, I'm bored, I'm going to go eat. Oh, I'm bored, let me do this. You know what I mean? So everybody has, what do they call it? Everybody's a time millionaire right now. So everybody can prepare their own food, you know? There's no excuse.
Yeah. And I feel like, I mean, at least in the beginning of quarantine, I was eating terribly. I wasn't that, and I went from playing basketball or tennis, because I played tennis and coached tennis. I went from doing that every day to the first couple weeks I was like in my house and I wasn't really doing much, and I felt it like immediately. So just going out, like you said, going outside and going for a walk or a run, it just is like, it's unbelievable the difference it makes.
100%. It's so simple, but simplicity and consistency goes a long way.
Yeah, I feel like people sometimes like want to like overcomplicate something and like, oh, if I walk, it's not gonna do anything. Or if I eat, like you said, have a set meal diet, it's not gonna do anything. But it really does. I feel like I at least felt the difference when I went for a run like every other day. I try to stay active as much as I could.
Good.
James, what was that workout, James, that you had? It was like a challenge.
I was just going to mention his cop friend doing 5,000 push-ups or whatever he said.
Easy with the numbers. It wasn't that much. All right. So this was probably 3 weeks ago, if not maybe a month ago now, where all my friends and I were all playing some games online, and there was a joke challenge that basically, if you die or if you like screw up in some way, you have to do a certain amount of push-ups and sit-ups. And so we all took it kind of as a joke, but kind of not. And so the next day we were all trying to kind of like challenging each other. So it got to the point one day that like a week afterwards, my buddy, who's a police officer up in Canada, took it a little too far. And so we were all doing like maybe like 50 push-ups and like 20 curl-ups, stuff like that, maybe like a few minutes on a plank. But then we started getting a little too competitive. So he's doing like a couple hundred push-ups at a time with a couple hundred like crunches and just like having a plank. And I'm like, bro, I can't do that.
I
no.
can't either. I
But
can't
it was
even
fun.
come close.
It was fun for the first week until it got out of hand. I'll be honest. But
He's
I've
throwing
noticed
out.
people have like tried, and that's some super cool. Like I train some guys and they all play video games. They're all part of a team. And like, I've tried to tell them like, yo, just do a set of push-ups in between your games, whatever it is. And like you said, that starts adding up. You do it for a week. That's just an extra, however, like as a joke, like an extra 100,000 whatever it is, push-ups you just did that week. Imagine if you guys did that after every game, you know?
oh yeah.
It adds up.
We have to become a cop like your friend, or can we skip that part?
Yeah.
Hopefully skip that part.
You can.
But that's something that actually, like, a couple friends and I were talking about the other night. We actually, like, might on our community, like, do kind of a community drive where we all kind of keep track of like what everybody's doing, and do like kind of like push for community goals in it. So like, how many push-ups can we do as a group, or sit-ups or planks or whatever, to try and push for that? Because a lot of us are stuck at home 24/7 now, and it would be kind of cool just to see almost kind of like sort of competitively, but not take it too seriously. You know.
100%. I kind of want to piggyback off of that idea real quick. So the fitness app that I created, it's obviously fitness and it's there to make you healthier, but it's a community app. So there's a whole news feed. There's private groups. Right now we have a lot of teams, like private, like high school teams, that get their own little group. And in that group, I have 4 of the trainers that are working with me right now. We hold each team accountable. So there's like a scaling point system. Like if the boys team, if everybody in a day worked out and they sent like the checklist of their workout, and they get like a certain amount of points. So it literally becomes a game. Like these kids, like obviously they're working out, but it becomes very enjoyable. It's a competition. And when you enjoy exercise and when it becomes like second nature, you don't dread it. That's when you like consistently keep it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can you set up like your own groups with friends and stuff like that on that?
Yep.
Bro.
That's cool.
Yeah, y'all should I'll send you guys a link to sign up. Like,
Yeah,
literally.
definitely.
Let's do it. I will do that 100%.
For the listeners, just real quick before we forget, where can you find that app? Like, where's the app found? The link anywhere that we can find New Human?
Of course. So you can sign up for the app on joinnewhuman.com. Currently, right now, my app is being hosted on an app hosting app, if that makes sense. For at least for the first few months, so I can figure out what features people really enjoy, and then from there, I'm going to take those features, add it to the app that I already created that no one's on right now. But right now, it's going pretty good. A lot of people like it because it's very community-esque, and like a lot of people, like I have these moms that like have never expressed physical, like, oh, like I would never share my physical goals to other people, and then I also have like these like 6'8" D1 juice heads like being like, yo, bro, I just did this. Like everybody's sharing their accomplishments, and it's like a community, you know?
I think that's what helps, because people just like, sorry, Steve, but
No,
Big
that's
Red, my bad. I think that's a big part of it, because I mean, you look at Venmo or something like that. Why does Venmo have a social part of it? Because people just like to share things and like to post stuff. So I think just having that community and stuff is just a natural add-on to what people already want, you know?
1,000%.
I think like just thinking about like college athletes, high school athletes, I feel like that app would be so nice. That feature of the app is so great. Is we're all competitive. We all want to like.
That's a good point too.
Beat someone. Like I know, like if on my team when I played tennis, like I would want to be number 1 at whatever we were doing. Like a very competitive person. Even like basketball, I'm very competitive. So I would want to beat my teammate in a friendly way, but beat my teammates, and that makes you better and your team better. So I feel like that's such a. Even now, I'm very competitive. Like if I had a group with our friends, I would be like, I want to win this week. So I feel like
we gotta get a big Red Zone New Human group.
Dude, I'm all about it. I'm 100% all about it. Let's go.
Mr. 500 push-ups down there is probably gonna do like 1,000. I can't do that, but yeah, that's really cool. I know with like, I've seen different apps where you can do like you compete against other people, but that sounds like so. Like I'm into it. I really want to.
It's very unique because it's like a self-sustaining system. Like obviously we are there like helping people, but like it's cool. Like one person will ask like, oh, does anybody have any like healthy snack recipes? And then you'll get like 20 people that aren't trainers be like, oh, I've been using this, and this, and it's been helping. And it's like, boom, everybody just got that value of like like a community, you know? So it's pretty cool.
That's awesome. Now I was just going to ask, so do you get like, if I went on and I was like, I'm looking for a good like chest workout to do when I'm at home, Does anyone have any ideas? You and the other trainers were kind of.
So right now, I mean, you could definitely like ask that on the newsfeed, but right now, I've created 54 programs, but only 12 of them are on right now. Okay. And the 12 programs are all body weight. So for example, one of our programs is upper body strength and core, where like there's a 30-day challenge where you work out every day, but you don't overtrain the muscles. Like you'll do like one day upper body, day 2 is like core, day 3 is mobility. And then like you repeat and it progresses by itself throughout the workout. So there's like specific programs where like there's like you've never really worked out, let's do a couch to 5K program, or like a 21-day consistency challenge where it's like you're just going through 10-minute workouts, you know? Like there's different. Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like a lot, and I know like a lot of people that are like, you know, they're not really physically active. They're not really in shape. I'm not in shape, but like they haven't worked out in years, and they're just trying to find that first step in. So I feel like that would be perfect, like a nice get you started workout, and then you can work up over the month. That's really cool. That's like I really like I love the competitive aspect of it, and I love like because me, I'm not in shape at all, so like it would help me like, you know, build up to where I was and keep progressing.
And you'd be surprised, like I've trained a lot of people, and a lot of people have had like crazy progress. I got a call right before this. A news station out in Western Mass wants to hop on an interview because one kid I've been training since January 1st last year, he's about to approach 200 pounds lost, and he's never lost more than 4 pounds a week. So it's just been the consistency. Like he's tracked his food. He's done all of his workouts. He would skip some, you know, but he would like catch up to it. But it's just like he never, like most weeks it'd be like 2 to 4 pounds lost. And that was like a healthy zone for him because he was 411 pounds. Now he's whatever the math is. Like he's about to hit like that 210 range. I think he's like 220 right now. But he's never done anything extreme. He's just been able to do the simple shit every week nonstop for almost however many months that is, almost 20 months straight, you know? And like, it's crazy. It's really crazy to see.
That's incredible. Awesome. That's a real, and it shows like just staying, you don't have to do something crazy, like any like crazy amount of whatever you're doing, just staying on point and staying consistent of what you do. That's amazing. That's really cool, Mike.
That's wild. It's honestly, I'm so proud of the kid, but yeah, it's just a constant reminder that like you don't have to overcomplicate things. And when it comes to dieting and exercising, you have to find something that makes it easy for you to like habitually do. Like if it's like a crazy 2-week cleanse, like a lot of people can't sustain that, you know? So you have to find like what that balance is. Like exercise is all about balance. Like if you can't withhold something, you're only going to progress for a week and then let it all loose the week after, you know?
Yeah. That's a good point. That's something I think we all do is try to overcomplicate it. Like I know like I'll like just going for a run, I felt like it wasn't doing anything, but I feel like I just had to stick with it. And then we got rain, so that kind of put me back a little bit. Then James said he was doing like 200 push-ups at 10 minutes, and I was like, all right, I'm done. So that's really cool. And so just a reminder, if anyone wants to get the app, sign up, they can go to, what is it? New Human?
JoinNewHuman.com.
And definitely sign up. Sounds like a great app. It's a community atmosphere, and Mike's a great trainer, great person. So, and it works.
We'll put the link in the show notes too.
Yeah.
And also, it's 2 weeks free for everybody. My goal is to just get as many people on there so they can learn. And if you don't feel like, and it's only $20 a month. And with that, we run free virtual workouts during the week. We have Q&As through Zoom and stuff like that. Like there's a lot of content, like articles written, like there's a lot of content for that. Like the goal is never money. It's just to get as many people there to help as many people. So try it out.
Definitely. I think you'll be getting a call from the Big Red Zone people too.
Oh yeah.
So as I said, Mike played 4 years of college basketball. He's a big basketball guy. He's doing crazy dunks every time I saw him. So we got a few basketball topics to talk about. First of all, starting off with the NBA, ESPN top 74 players of all time. Now, Mike, you saw the list, right?
Yep.
A big debate on the Big Red Zone, actually, we've had about all-time players, and it came down. They're in the top 10 now. which we'll get to. Is there any surprises that you had in the list that you saw or anything that stood out to you?
I definitely was surprised with Larry Bird and Kobe.
See, that was the big debate that we've had on the Big Red Zone.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've seen.
Those are two players we've been talking about for like 3 weeks.
That was like the big debate that we had. Where would you put? Obviously, you think because I agree. I think Kobe should have been moved up higher on that list, even though he's top 10. But I think he should have been definitely higher. What do you think? What do you say? You're surprised Larry's that high, that low? I
think I forget who's. I've always thought Tim Duncan was a more successful player than Kobe Bryant. I feel like that's an unpopular opinion. Yeah. I would honestly just move Larry Bird. I think he was, what was he, 7?
Yeah.
I think. Move Tim Duncan and Kobe up and put Larry Bird, boom, and then Shaq. I liked Larry Bird. I'm a big Larry Bird follower.
You're killing me, dude.
I just don't think he's that high. And Shaq was phenomenal. He was dominant, but I don't know. We had the debate on, and I'm just so to update, me and James were on the Larry. We ranked the players Larry, Kobe, and Shaq because they're not like they were the best of all, like they're the top of the best, but those were just the controversy that we had. Mm-hmm. And that was actually a couple weeks before this list came out. So I like to think that the Big Red Zone inspired this top 7 list. But James and I both had it ranked Larry, Kobe, Shaq. John had it Kobe, Shaq, Larry. And our other guest that was on had it Kobe, Shaq, Larry. And there was a bunch of reasons why I had – John, to be fair, never watched basketball before in his life. So I didn't really have him in there. But I just thought, like, there was a bunch of stats that went out, but I won't get into now. But it is close. Like, that comparison is close. I do think that putting Larry any lower than 7 is not right. I wouldn't put him any lower than 7. I would have put Kobe 6. I think Kobe's the 6th best player of all time. I just found out. I thought Larry had the same amount of championships as Shaq. They don't. I thought it was the same scenario. I just thought that Shaq was quote-unquote more dominant, but Larry only has 3 championships. I just looked that up. I thought he had 4. He doesn't. He
has 3, but he also has 3 straight MVPs.
Oh, yeah.
In the 80s, which was like the unbelievable time of the NBA.
Yeah.
And he also he's one of 3 players to win the MVP 3 straight years, and he's also the only player to be top 50 in all the major stat categories.
You got him all riled up, Mike. Look what you did. Can you stop yelling at us?
John said Larry played with plumbers, which that got me a little more fired up. But we'll move on from that. But I agree. I think Kobe should have been higher, definitely on the list. To put him 9. I mean, it's not like saying he's top 10 all time is not an insult, but I think he should have been higher. I do think I love him, but I think Bill Russell, shouldn't have been in the top 5. I think he actually played with plumbers. So I think he should have been – I think he's top 10 because you can't discount the championships. Like, guy won. So, but I think him and Wilt should have been like the 9-10.
Yeah. I understand. If you didn't bring in the topic of their competition,
yeah,
do you keep them?
If you don't talk about competition, I think like how it's hard to disagree with a guy that was averaging like 30 points and like 20 rebounds, and then a guy that won like how many, like 12 championships. It's like you can't argue that. But when looking at those two were the only like those were the best players in the league, and everyone else's teams were terrible, and their teams were really good. I think they have to be lower. Which I don't know. I can't disagree. Like you said, Bill Russell won all those championships. Of course he'd be, and that's like the argument we have for MJ versus LeBron. Like he won 6 out of 6. So I don't know. It's definitely a debate, I guess. I had this debate with someone else. Like they said Wilt was right. Bill should have been lower, whatever. 2 big ones to me were Melo was left off the list completely.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. Like there's guys that are like in their third year in the league or fourth, fifth year in the league that are on this list, and Melo has had a successful career. No matter what you want to say.
Melo, I didn't look at the list. Melo didn't make top 74.
No,
that's
which
nuts.
is insane. Like this guy, like I think people forget like how dominant Melo was. Kobe even said, like I saw something come out the other today or yesterday. Kobe said Melo was one of his favorite people to play against because he was like the toughest one of the tougher challenges he played. And to be left off the list completely, and Giannis is like top. I love Giannis, but he's top like 50 all time, and he's had like 3 great years. Like that's pretty insane to me to leave. Cool. Where would you put Melo all time? Do you think? Like, because I think he's even higher than top 74. I would say like I think he's pretty high.
I'd put him top 50, you know.
Yeah.
For like, I was looking at some of the lists, like some of the like lower, like the 70s, like the people in the 70s, like Damian Lillard, like it's like you said, Giannis is dominant, and I think Giannis is going to be on that top 4 best players ever.
He could,
but he's only been playing like that for 3 years. Like Melo has had a career for how long? You know, like
right. And he's doing like they said he was done, and this past year that he was playing, he was lightening it up. Like he was doing pretty well. Also, like I think he's a dominant player, and like you said, I think he will be top, you know, one of the best players of all time. But Anthony Davis, like besides being like the best player on a crappy team for most of his career, what has he done? Like he hasn't done much. Like I'm not trying to be mean, but like he hasn't. Like I think he's definitely like. I'd put him higher than Giannis right now because he's had more years and done it for longer. But remember, Giannis's first couple of years, he wasn't what he was. Mm-hmm. Like now, like he is one of the best players in the league, obviously. But I agree. I think it's too early to just say, oh, he's top 50 all time. Doesn't make much sense.
And go back to the Carmelo thing. So my roommate, he's also a trainer, and his brother has worked closely with Chris Brickley, and he – the basketball like trainer in New York. I'm sure you know him, but and he worked closely with like Carmelo and like his strength work, and it was really crazy like seeing the back end of like the mental side of like and like not being a part of a team, and like he hustled like I was never a gigantic Carmelo fan, but like to see like how dominant he was before, how much he worked, how much teams didn't want to sign him, which I still don't know why they didn't want to sign him for that long of a period, like to then succeeding now is a great story.
Yeah. It was pretty like I don't get it why no one wanted him on it. Like I was like you sign him for that like a low contract, not even a low contract, give him like a good contract. He's still got years in his legs. Like he gets you buckets. So if you need someone to score, he's gonna score. And
hell yeah.
I'm happy that he had that success that he has now because he deserves it. But yeah, that's pretty much all. Like I was shocked about Melo, and like Giannis was high. Like you said, I love Dame. Dame's one of my favorite players right now in the league, but he hasn't done it long enough. Like he hasn't like these guys that did it for like 15 years, they should be 20 years. They've earned it. Dame's done it for like how many years? Like under 5, 3 maybe.
5,
so. But yeah, that was the shot. Like there was a couple of young guys, and I mean, I get it. ESPN kind of has to sprinkle in like some of the talent from today's NBA, but I didn't agree with that. Steph was kind of low too. Steph and KD. He was like in the teens, but I thought he's like just out of the top 10. He's got to be just out of the top 10.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing a tweet about that. I don't think he's in the top 15 yet. But he's definitely revolutionized the game, but that doesn't mean you're top 15.
He was he was 13. I'd see maybe that's around where he was ahead of Kevin Durant. That's what I had. I was like Steph, KD. I think KD should be a little bit above Steph, but I think Steph definitely deserves to be top on the higher end of top 15 because just how he changed the game of basketball. Like everyone now is like, think of like how much it's changed like in the last like even like 7 years. Like now everyone's shooting threes. Everyone's trying to be a scorer, and he's a point guard. Yeah, he's a shooter. So, but other than the big ones for me were Melo and Giannis. Like that was kind of big shocks to me. Also, just ended basketball. Last Dance. That was one of the best documentaries I've ever seen in my life. It was unreal, and I can't wait to see what like the next version of Last Dance, whether that's like Kobe Shaq's era or
how many episodes was it?
It was 10.
10?
Two
That's
a
not
week.
bad.
It was like 2 hours a week. They had 2 episodes every Sunday. It was unreal. What were some of like the things that were surprised you or your favorite parts of that doc?
I kind of knew this before, like being a college player and stuff, but I loved how like technical they dove into like some of the things MJ would study. Like, for example, like I forget what the exact quote was, but like I forget who was defending him. But he was like, this defender plays on his toes. So I know if I give him like a cross, like he's going to fall back. Like they went in depth with what goes on in his head, like without thinking. Like I really like that like in-depth conversation of like how Michael Jordan was playing. I also liked how much they spoke about like other stuff outside of ball. Like, for example, the whole food poisoning, that was a little crazy.
That was nuts. Like for years, I've never heard that. I've never heard it was food poisoning. Everything I've heard was it was the Jordan flu game.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really, to hear it was actually food poisoning was nuts. Like someone said the food poisoning game does not sound as good as the flu game. Yeah. But like, that's pretty nuts. On that, sorry, go ahead, John.
My point's not going to be as important as yours, but did they mention the Chameleonaire story? I'm talking the Chameleonaire Michael Jordan story, right?
No,
I don't know if this is worthy of a pod story, but I'll go into it. So, Michael Jordan everyone buckle up. I don't know what year it was. It was when like Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett were all on the Celtics. And it was when, does everyone remember platinum recording artist Chameleonaire?
Of course.
Yeah.
All right, great. So this was around when Ridin' Dirty came out. Ridin' Dirty was selling millions. It was the top ringtone in the world. And so there was some like after party or whatever, and a bunch of Celtics players were at like some club or whatever. It was like Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, and Michael Jordan was in the same section. So Chameleonaire, being the on top of the world, right, with Ridin' Dirty, he walks up, and Chameleonaire has said he's like the biggest Michael Jordan fan in the world. So being Chameleonaire, walks up to like the VIP. I'm pretty sure he's in the VIP section because he's Chameleonaire. And he walks up to Michael Jordan and he's like, "Hey man, I just want to say you're a big inspiration to me. Blah blah blah." Like, I think he asked for a picture. Can I get a picture? Right? Michael Jordan looks at him and basically says, "Screw you! I don't take pictures with no this, that, blah blah blah." So Chameleonaire's offended. Paul Pierce comes up and says, "Hey Mike, don't you know who that is? That's platinum recording artist Chameleonaire." And Michael Jordan's like, "I don't give a who that is, blah, 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 blah." So then Chameleonaire turned away and got no picture. To this day, I hate Michael Jordan. That's the Chameleonaire Michael Jordan story. You can fact check that all you want. And it's a shame that it got left out of the documentary, in my humble opinion, who hasn't seen one episode of it.
I'm dead.
Well, it is a shock that Chameleonaire story, that the reason why John is not a fan of Michael Jordan was left out of the documentary.
Discuss.
Well, to that point, not to like jump on that point, but it was true. Like, he kind of talked about it. He didn't really like, if you didn't like the way he played or the way his mentality of the game, it was A, you probably don't win, and B, sorry, I'm not sorry. And I kind of like that. I think it's, especially like how the NBA, I said, it is like very soft now. It's not as tough of a league. I think Michael Jordan was in that. It was one of the last eras of like hard-nosed, tough basketball. And we saw it even with other players like Scotty. Like in that last game, Scotty's back was wrecked, like playing in that game, and he still played as much as he could in that game. And I like, anyone that's had a back injury knows like how painful and like how impossible it is to actually do anything like without, like, you can't move without feeling pain. So
I had a teammate, and Fawaz, you know who Fawaz is?
Yeah, Fawaz.
And he had that kind of like Michael Jordan tough love type mentality. Like he's one of my brothers. Like I love the dude. He's gonna be one of my best friends forever. But on the court, if you do something wrong, like he's gonna be like, not name calling, but he's like, yo, don't mess up, don't do this. Like, and he's not afraid to say it. And I remember Michael Jordan said something. He's like, you'll never catch me telling somebody to do something if I'm not doing it. So like Fawaz would always be like, yo, you better work harder, or like stop slacking. And like you can't call him out on it because he doesn't slack, you know? Like right. So it was really interesting. It's like tough love, and like that's not my way of coaching, but to an extent, but like you still need it, and like it still works, you know. And at the end of the day, if you have the understanding that the other person's just doing that to benefit you, and that's just how they express that, then just take the message and go from there, you know.
Yeah. What was that guy's name that was on the team? I think it was Scott Burrell. Was it Scott Burrell that was just like Michael would just rag on it? He would like to the last game that he played for the Bulls, he was on Scotty Burrell. And Scott was like just a nice guy, and he took every little bit of it. And he was a pretty decent player. Like he was kind of big for the Bulls, but it was just funny. Like even like it went a couple episodes without talking about Scott Burrell, and then in the last episode, he was like, Michael said something to Scott right before the game, like he's gonna, if we lose this game, I'm gonna find you, or no, if we win this game next time, I'll never see you again, and if we do, I'm gonna like beat you up, or something like that. It was just like, to the last minute, he was always like picking on him, but in like you said, the tough love kind of way, because he wanted to push him to be better. I love the Rodman stuff too. I love like even the last episode when they came out, like when he left. I think it was in the playoffs. In between games, he went and fought in a WWE wrestling match. How nuts is that?
Rodman is so unique, and like something that I didn't know, like that whole like work personal life balance, like it was just out the window. I didn't know they like had no relationship outside of like ball, you know. Like you'd think that team that wins that much, they have like crisscrossing, like maybe back in the day, like that was just more of a barrier. Like now a lot of people are like work and friends, but yeah, it's crazy. But it's also crazy to see, like nice to re-see his highlights. Like I feel like my style of play is like his, like that like hard hustle mentality. And going back to the more technical things, I remember in one of the episodes it was talking about how he would like mentally predict the angle of where the basketball would go after a shot. Like it sounds so crazy that like somebody can think of that during the game, but like there's certain senses that you can just develop after seeing basketball shots go thousands of times. Like if somebody I know always overshoots a ball and they're shooting from the right side, I know it's going to bounce this way. So I just position myself. So like it was really cool to like hear the explanations of those things, those like little skills.
Yeah, it was like to see how these guys, all of them, like went about the game is just like, it's unreal. Like you said, the technical level, like the amount of work in like, not on the court, but in the film room is absolutely amazing. And I connected more with Rodman because I played in the post more, and that was more of my style of play too. And just the way he would think about like, he would not care for his body and just dive into like 6 feet of stands and like not even care. And that last bit with who was it? Was it who was it? Was in the last episode, or the second last episode, when they were playing the Jazz. Who was it? He was like, they like got tangled up with like the best player, and they like, that whole sequence was just funny. I forget who it was. Who was the best? It was Stockman and Malone. Malone. And like they got tangled up. They kept like tripping each other, and then like they got up and Rodman smacked him on the butt, and then Malone smacked him on the butt, and it was just like Rodman was like rubbing his butt, giving him like a kissy face. It was just the funniest 30 seconds. And if you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's all over Twitter. It's like such a funny sequence. But yeah, that was like, I love that series. It had so much. It was nice to see, like, because we didn't get to really see that time. At least I didn't, because I was 95. I was born in 95. So like that first 5 years, like that end of the Jordan era, I didn't really get to see that much. So like at all. I just got to see like highlights of it. So it was nice seeing it in the doc series and given that behind the scenes look.
Oh yeah.
But the other thing I was thinking of, the Rodman, when he got like, he was going to get fined. He got fined like some crazy amount of money, and he didn't want to talk to the media. So they like had to sneak him out the back, like through the main entrance. And the media was running after him like he was the Beatles. It was like insane, because he didn't want to answer a couple of questions that really didn't matter. He was like, he could have just said, I went to wrestling, but he didn't want to talk to him. And he was chased out of the stadium like he was the Beatles into a car. It was it was so funny to watch. But I think that about gets us to our next installment of the all-time series. Mike's going to join us for that. For a refresher, the all-time series that we're doing is we all get to draft our all-time team, and we're going around to the different major Boston, New England sports teams. Last week was the Patriots. This week we're doing the Celtics. So we did a random draft order again. James is first. I'm second. John's third, and Mike's fourth. And we're just going to go around and draft our team. Just a reminder, we're doing a point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center, 3 bench positions, a coach, and then at the end, you can pick any owner you want. We had some creative choices last time. And obviously, I guess going with John's logic, you can put the players at any position you want, even though it doesn't make sense. He put who'd you put? You put Drew Bledsoe as his coach.
As my coach. And who was my...
Your owner was Elon Musk.
He had Tim Tebow as his quarterback. He had Doug Flutie as his kicker. So,
my God.
So if you have someone, I guess it doesn't matter. Just put him in anywhere. So James, with the first pick, go ahead. You can pick who you want.
This one's kind of I did not plan on getting the first pick, and I hate to do this to you, Steve.
If you do it, James, we're gonna have a serious strain.
I hate to do this to you, Steve, but I gotta take Larry Bird.
Wow,
you gotta do it.
The worst person ever. That's awful.
It's okay. Tell me something I don't know.
Larry's my favorite player of all time, just to clarify.
We know.
All right, take it easy. Take it easy there, Doug Flutie. I'm going to go Kevin Garnett.
Okay.
Nice.
It's his birthday today. Shout out to Kevin Garnett.
Yeah.
It's his birthday. Happy birthday.
At the time of recording this, when this comes out, it won't be his birthday.
Yeah, I mean, today, yeah.
Who's next?
John.
Me?
Yeah, you're up.
Paul Pierce. At coach.
Unpopular.
No.
Stop
no. John.
Unpopular opinion, and I know a lot of people may get on me about this. I'm not as high on Paul Pierce as everyone is.
What?
Really?
I think KG
Twitter hates Paul Pierce.
I think KG was a bigger person on that team than Paul Pierce. I think he was more important to that team than Paul.
Well, he's going to be important to my team because he's going to be calling every play. He's the coach.
Oh,
John, you frustrate me, John, sometimes.
Who's next?
All right, Mike, you got back-to-back picks?
Bill Russell.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're killing me.
That's a good pick. I wish I had him as my coach.
He's a winner. Yeah, he actually did coach. John, that would have made perfect sense. He was the player coach.
Can you stop yelling at me?
You told me I turned my mic up. And
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I love it.
I'm excited for my team.
He's one player in. All right.
Oh, my God.
Mike, your next pick?
I'm going to go with the Twin Towers. I'm going to get Kevin Mchale on here. Get 2 big guys.
Kevin Mchale.
Wow.
That's a good pick.
Never forget.
Oh, he's who I wanted as a power forward.
Kevin Mchale is one of the greatest power forwards I've ever seen.
If you could see my computer screen right now, it's just a Google search of best Celtics players.
John, once again, did not prepare for this draft, and it's showing that he picked Paul Pierce as his coach.
So I believe it's John's pick again.
Is my pick again?
Time clock, yeah.
Oh. Ray Allen.
Oh,
that's a good pick, John.
Thank you.
John goes through like 2 picks that make sense, and then he just throws one at you. I know the one.
I have a Ray Allen like Walmart jersey. Like they were the ones that like weren't that good, but your mom still got you. I love it though.
Okay.
All right, James, go ahead.
No, it's you then me.
No, oh, it's me?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to go. He's young, but I think he's going to be one of the best Celtics ever. Tatum.
Are you going? Oh, okay.
I'm going Tatum.
Yeah, okay.
That's a really good pick.
Ooh.
He gets buckets.
I might go.
I
promise, I have like a whole spreadsheet done already.
All right. Well, let's go.
We're gonna brag about how.
Yeah.
I might go. Sam Jones.
Sam Jones.
Sam Jones.
Sam Jones.
Who is that? I'm pretty sure he fixed my roof last week. Who is Sam Jones?
Never mind. Look up stats if you need to. That's fine.
I don't even look up stats for my own picks. I'm gonna look up stats for your picks.
Oh my god.
Sam Jones.
I kind of want to go. I have a few different options here. I'll just go with Robert Parrish as a center.
Oh, the Chief. That's a good pick. All right. I'm going to do snap decision, Bob Cousy.
Oh.
He's a stud.
That's huge.
He was on there was a thing that went around Mount Rushmore of Celtics players. He was on the Mount Rushmore for me.
Who's next? Maya?
Yep. Go ahead, John.
Shaq.
I knew you were going to go Shaq.
Easy.
Shaq's pretty good. And people forget, Shaq was starting at the beginning of that season. He went out it was sad how he went out.
You're right. He was on the Celtics.
He was averaging I think he was averaging 9-8 or something, like almost 10 points.
Yeah. People rag on Shaq for his last year of the Celtics. He just got hurt. He was starting and was not bad. It wasn't like he was averaging 2 points a game and barely any minutes. He was starting. But all right, Mike, who's your next two picks?
I'll go. I'm a big fan of Reggie Lewis.
Reggie Lewis.
There you go.
That's sad. That was a sad story for him.
I'm just trying to think of point guards, and I'm just gonna go. Rondo is one of my favorite players.
Oh, nice.
Rondo is
one of my favorite players.
I didn't even think of him.
That's a good pick.
I like Rondo a lot.
So you went Rondo, Reggie Lewis, Rondo, John.
My turn?
Yeah.
Kyrie Irving.
Oh.
I hate you for that pick.
Oh no.
I hate you.
My team is stacked.
Your team's gonna tank, and it's just gonna.
We're gonna have one wicked good year, which is all we want.
When he's hurt for half the season, and then he's gonna come back and get ticked, and then he's gonna turn.
Oh, God.
I'm ready for the next year of the Nets to just completely implode. All right, my turn.
Yes.
All right, I'm going. Gonna shore up the defensive side. I'm going Marcus Smart.
Oh,
good one.
My team's gonna be so
nice.
Smart and KG. Come on now.
Oh, I got a good one next.
Oh.
Did anybody pick Paul Pierce?
Yep,
yeah, he's my owner.
Coach.
Okay. That's why I didn't write him off, because you dingbat. I can't believe you. All right. I still can't believe you did that. Hold on. For point guard. All right. I think what I'll do is I'm going to grab. I might just grab Gordon Hayward. Not for point guard. What?
I love Gordon Hayward. He's one of my favorite players.
I'm half tempted to grab Gordon Hayward and Maxwell.
Are you picking Gordon Hayward with or without his leg in one piece?
First, the assumption that we always do with these is all these players at their peak, at their best performance. Thanks, John. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'll go with Gordon Hayward and Cedric Maxwell.
I feel bad about that one. I'm sorry, Gordon. If Gordon Hayward's listening, I'm sorry.
Yeah, take it easy there. Hey, by the way,
popping off.
Not to pause the draft, Mike. Did I see on your not to go back too far, but in your New Human app on Instagram, did I see a certain Celtics center?
Yeah.
Promoting the app.
Yeah.
You have to draft that too.
Yeah.
Nah,
legally obligated.
You are.
Yeah, Ennis last summer he ran 100 free camps around the country, and I was lucky enough to help him with camp number 100.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. I thought I saw that on I think it was on your Instagram.
Mhm.
And it was either, I think it was your Instagram and New Human. And
Yep.
that was awesome. That was
Super
pretty
nice
cool.
guy.
He seems like that was pretty like amazing to run 100 free camps for people. Like that's like it's very like a lot of these players are. If you go to their camp, it like costs like hundreds of dollars.
The previous most amount of camps ran, like paid or unpaid, or like free or paid, was like 18, I think, and like by an NBA player in the summer, and then like the most free camps ever ran by an NBA player in one summer was like 6. So he blew that record out of the water.
So that's nice that he's going to be your next pick in the draft.
It was in the contract.
It was in the contract. James, are you still up or is it me?
No, it's you. It's you.
You went corner.
Yeah, I got 2.
I'm going to shore up my center. I'm going to go Perk.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Thought you haven't taken Scal yet.
Scal, maybe a last pick. Perk, I met Perk. He's a nice dude.
Oh, yeah, I saw your pick. Yeah, he's a good guy.
He's huge. That man is he's probably the largest individual I've ever seen in my life. He was a mountain. He was a tank. So I'm going to get every rebound with him and KG down there, and Smart's going to get every steal. All right, John, you're up.
My next pick is former heroin addict turned motivational speaker, Chris Herron.
I love that intro.
Great intro.
And he's going to be on my bench. I don't trust him.
Oh, what to do with you, John?
He spoke at our high school.
He did speak
What?
at our high school.
When?
Yeah. Maybe you were absent that day. I remember him talking about didn't he hit like a half-court shot with only like one shoe on or something? And then he did heroin afterward or something.
No, I don't remember that story, John. I don't remember that at all. I don't think he hit a half-court shot with his shoe off.
Yes, I don't know.
All right, moving on. Mike?
I'm going to go with one of the best defensive players ever, Tony Allen.
Tony Allen. That is he'll lock up. He's gonna lock up anyone. Kobe, wasn't that one of his top 5 players ever to Tony Allen?
And my coach, Doc Rivers. Wait, does that have to be a player? Oh, wait, it has to be a player.
No, it can be anyone.
No, John's just crazy at picking players. You can,
don't listen to
pick
John.
Doc.
All right, Doc's my coach.
That's a good pick.
You're asking the guy that just took Chris Herron in like the 4th round for all-time Celtics. So you can take anyone.
I stole him.
I stole him.
My God.
I only wrote down 3 coaches to draft because I knew John was going to do something like that. I didn't think he was going to go Paul Pierce. I thought he was going to go this other name that I know I'm going to let him draft. I know it's his favorite.
If you take
Celtics
this
player.
guy, I'm going to be pissed.
Well, it's your pick next, John.
Is it my pick?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not ready to
pick.
draft him yet. I'm picking I need to see what position he played. Position. Mind my Googling. I got a small team, but he's gonna go at small forward. Danny Ainge.
Danny Ainge is your small forward?
Well, I want him on my team. I already have. Yeah.
You do you, John.
Well, you could have paid him. He's the owner.
I already have Shaq for my height. Well, I don't want him as my owner.
I mean, not owner, but your coach. Would have made more sense to put Paul at your small forward.
No. Well, maybe you're right there, but I'm gonna move Danny Ainge on my bench actually, just because I don't want my small forward.
That's a good call. All right, I'm at my bench now. I'm gonna go with another Celtics legend from back in the day, John Havlicek.
That was my next one.
Havlicek. People forget he was part of that original, Dynasty.
So, here's what I'm thinking. And I don't know if anybody took him because I had a bit of an internet issue for a little bit.
Well,
I was going to
John
go.
Didn't.
Well, I was going to go with kind of a throwback here. The Coos, Bob Cousy.
Bob Cousy, I have him. He's my.
You have him? No, I took him.
Such a nice intro for him.
Oh, dude.
You gave him a
Fine,
nickname.
Such a
and
wind up.
Then I'll take probably they would take Dennis Johnson then
Nope.
for point guard.
That was
No,
going to
all
be
right.
my next pick. That was
Dennis Johnson and then Dave Cowens for power forward. And I think that'll
All right.
probably.
No, you got another pick.
I didn't hear that you picked him. Oh,
All
that
right.
kills me.
I got two more. I got two more bench positions. Let's go with. I love this guy. I got to go with him. Even though he did me dirty and left us. Nah, I'll leave him. Nah, I'll get him. Al Horford.
Oh, yep.
I'll go Horford. Does a little everything. John? Better pick this guy.
I'll pick him to make you happy. Marquise Daniels at starting small forward, also known as Q6. Look him up on Spotify, Apple Music, Q6.
John is a big Marquise Daniels guy.
I
He's
love
been a fan
Marquise
of him
Daniels.
since he played on the team.
He has a tattoo in like Chinese that he thought said like something inspirational, but it just says like coffee table or something stupid.
All right, who's up next for the pick?
Me, right?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go with my two bench players, Dominique Wilkins and Avery Bradley.
Ooh, Avery Bradley's a good pick.
Ooh,
I like him a lot.
defensive. Dominic Wilkins played?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
He
a
had
good pick.
a few 20-point games when he played with the Celtics.
Wow. That's a good pick. John, wow me with one of your last couple picks.
My owner is Nate Robinson.
No, that's not in the draft. That's not a draft pick. That's after. That's not part of your draft.
Okay, then
I
Nate
mean, unless
Robinson.
you want-
Then Nate Robinson is on my bench.
And I'm guessing he's going to be your owner,
He
too.
might be the owner at this point.
Oh, my God.
Okay. I'm going to go Jalen. Jalen
Okay.
Brown,
Nice.
my last bench position.
Did anyone get Marcus Smart?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess for me to round it out, I don't know if anybody grabbed Reggie Lewis.
Yeah,
I
he
did.
did.
You did? Okay. I didn't.
James is just having a tough time down there.
Dude,
Every guy.
so here's a fun little fact. Me trying to be organized is working against me because I have so many players on the list. I've been trying to get and like tag of people that got them, and I keep missing it. Fine. I can go with Don Nelson then. So Don Nelson.
Oh, he did my taxes.
He did my taxes.
You guys clearly don't like. Whatever. Never mind.
He
And
We have
then
another
for
pick,
coach. What? Yeah.
Yeah.
For coach, I was going to pick statistically one of the most successful coaches ever for the Celtics.
Don't
Red.
say Doc because
No.
oh, you're going Red.
Yeah.
I'm trying to save you from your intro.
Hey. No, I was able to hear that part.
Okay, you going Red?
So yeah, I'm going Red.
That's a good
Who?
pick. All right, my coach, I'm going to go Brad.
You know
That's a
John
Brad.
Red from that 70s show? Come on.
Oh, we're doing owner. Oh.
No.
No, no.
Oh, what are we doing? I'm so lost.
You have one more. I don't know what you have, and please try to stick with it because last time you didn't pick another defensive player. We looked crazy. You had someone. You only have.
Well,
one
yeah, because who
defensive
picks
player.
one running back? Is it
you're
my
on
turn?
Flex. Yeah.
Is Kevin McHale picked?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
All
got it.
right. I'm taking David Lee.
What, David Lee Roth from like Van Halen?
No, David Lee, the power forward from the Celtics in 2000. I don't know.
I wanted to make sure it was the actual
David
basketball
Lee
player.
who openly apologized for his performance with the Celtics.
Celtics.
He said, "I'm sorry, I was terrible and out of shape."
Well, this
Okay.
is his rebound year.
Okay. All right.
I love the
Mike,
confidence, John.
You're up for your last pick.
I have one more. I have one more bench. I'm a huge fan of Jeff Green. I remember when he hit that dagger from LeBron when he played for the Celtics. I'll never forget that.
Jeff Green's like an underrated player, I think. I think a lot of people. Yeah. It was
I was
like,
really nice with him at 2K12.
he was I was good with Jonas Jerebko. No one could beat me with Jonas Jerebko. There's those guys that you just hit everything, and he could hit every three with him. The one thing I like, I guess, is like a personal thing. Like, we traded Perk away for Jeff Green, and I hated when we traded Perk away, but I love Jeff Green as a player. We got Ray Allen from Jeff Green, so I guess that was a good thing. And then he came back, and he was pretty good. Mm-hmm. So I guess, all right, so now we'll go in reverse order because we'll just go with the draft. Mike, who's going to be your owner? You can pick anyone. It doesn't have to be Celtics player. It can be anyone in the world. It doesn't have to be sports. It doesn't have to be rich. Last week's owners were Larry Bird or Jesus. Who was yours, James?
I forget.
Mark Cuban.
Yep.
Mark Cuban, and John had
Elon Musk, I believe.
Elon Musk or Mark Bodwell, the principal of the West Bridgewater Middle Senior High School.
He's our old principal.
Oh, John.
So you can pick anyone in the world.
Let's just go with money. Bill Gates.
Bill Gates.
That's a cool owner.
John, I can't wait to hear yours.
Contracts.
Oh, that's true. That is true.
Is it my turn?
Yep.
I haven't thought it. Can I go last? No one's gonna pick my owner, so it doesn't matter what order it is. Someone else, James, you go.
That's fine. So I'm just going to stick with a theme, and I'm going to go for the Mark Cuban actual totalitarian overtake of all sports. So it's also going to be Mark Cuban.
Mark Cuban in
I'm
your
sticking with Mark
universe.
Cuban every time.
In your universe, Mark Cuban owns the Celtics and the
Yes.
Patriots. That's wild.
Yes. He's going to own the Red Sox too. Just you wait.
All right, Steve.
It's hard to
come back from Jesus last week.
From Jesus. Jesus was a good owner. He has enough on his plate, so I don't want to give too much on him. I think I'm gonna go. I gotta stick with my guns. I said this was gonna be my owner, and even though it didn't work out in the draft, I think I gotta go with it. Larry Bird. Larry Bird's my owner.
Oh, come on.
I think there's a conflict of interest here. He's on my team.
Larry Bird's gonna play for his team. That's funny.
Can I not pick him if he's on another team?
No, I don't really care. I don't care. Do what you want.
I can pick someone else.
My team owner is going to be Michael Soares.
Oh, we winning. My team, we winning. My team with you is winning.
Co-owner Nate Robinson when he's not playing.
Love it. Hey, I think I'm a good decision maker.
So to just clarify, we have a player that's an owner for another team, and we have Mike's not playing. So Mike drafted a team, but that doesn't mean he's just jumping ship on that team.
Yeah,
he's gonna own he's gonna own your team, John. That's a good owner.
Yeah,
I trust him.
That was unreal. All right, so
it's my favorite segment we do now.
We're gonna post those teams out on our Instagram. You can vote or comment who you think has the best team. It's hard. I think John definitely has the best owner. And so you can comment whatever you want. Let us know what you think of that. So I think that brings us to our last segment, which is a fan favorite, which is our People's Topic.
The People's Topic.
All right, we have our People's Topic. Producer John's going to read through them real quick. So, John, what do you got for us?
Yes, sir. We got two People's Topics. Hold on, I got to open them up here. First People's Topic comes from at John.Mayer, like Oscar How do you spell Oscar Mayer with two E's?
Sure.
Meyer?
I don't know how to pronounce it. It looks like John Mayer, but it's like John Meyer. Anyway,
John Meyer.
He asks, who is more important to the overall Patriots dynasty, Bill Belichick or Tom Brady?
I'm going to go straight to Bill next.
Interesting.
Bill.
I lean Bill as well, I think.
I'd say he's had more control and more influence over what the Patriots has done than Tom. Even though Tom has been very influential, Bill's been the one really deciding for a lot of these draft picks, really deciding for kind of their overall spirit and kind of how they handle things. He's been more influential, I would have to say.
But on the counter of that, I feel like Bill's been able to get away with drafting first, second, and third round defensive players because he has Tom Brady as his quarterback and can basically play with, as John says, plumbers as wide receivers. Tom has been able to like win Super Bowls with hardly any talent around him and win games with hardly any talent. So I don't know if the word hardly any talent.
I mean, lackluster, maybe not as much compared to other teams. Sure.
Who did he have last year? Let's
not talk about that.
Who did he have 2 years ago?
Let's also not talk about that.
But my point is,
I get the point you're making.
It's hard to say.
We got 2 for Bill, 1 for Tom. Mike, what do you say?
Mike, what do you say?
You know, I really want to take the Michael Jordan route of this, of like players really win the championships, but I agree. Bill had more of an influential overall Patriots organization difference making.
Absolutely. All right,
Next question.
I want to point out.
Or what?
What did you want to say?
Point. I just want to point out, I love Bill, by the way, and I'm happy we stuck with Bill. But let's look at the last head coaching position Bill had and how well he did. That's all I like to say.
So what? Someone can't learn from their mistakes and actually get better?
Yeah, Chris Herron learned from his mistake, and he's
all right. Moving on. He's now on your bench. We didn't make team names, but we'll.
All right, what's the next question?
Second question comes from @SammySloosh7 on Instagram. He asks, I think we might have covered this in an episode before, but it would have definitely changed now. Who do you guys think is the face of who do you guys think is the face of Boston sports right now after Mookie got traded?
And Tom left, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know why he put. I don't know why he Mookie got traded, and then Tom was still. I don't know, but who's the face of Boston sports now? I guess.
I don't know if there is any one particular person.
You got to pick someone.
Jason Tatum.
Yeah, I think that's who I'd go with too.
Tatum or maybe Bergeron? If you're going
Bergeron.
That's
Bruins?
interesting too. Yeah, people like hockey.
But I have to agree, probably Tatum. Tatum or Hayes? Would it be Gordon?
I kind of no. If you're gonna pick a Celtics guy, it's got to be Tatum. To be different, I'll pick Bogarts. Xander Bogarts. He's just been here longer and has championships under his belt. Is established. He's one of the best at his position. But it's tough. Like I think it's tough. I think Tatum is definitely. They're giving the keys to Tatum, and he's my franchise player, so I can't be disappointed with that.
I think a lot of this is going to depend on once the seasons get going, once we get back to normal where sports are actually happening.
Could be
That's going to be the big tell. It'd be Edelman before Stidham, to be honest. But
yeah.
As always, if you have a people's topic, write in to our Instagram @BigRedZone or on Twitter @BigRedZone as well. You can also, if you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button and subscribe and leave a comment if there's a people's topic that you have to let us know. It was great having you on this week, Mike. Always a pleasure to see you. One last time, let us know where can we find New Human?
JoinNewHuman.com. It's JoinNewHuman.com. You can go on there, get your 2 weeks free for the app.
2 weeks free, $20 a month, and it's such a great program.
What's the Instagram and all that?
Our Instagram is new_human. And you can get free workouts off there. I post almost every day and post a lot of free content because the end goal is to help people. So check it out, new_human.
That's awesome. All right. Thanks again, John, James, as always. Have a great week, everyone.
Thanks, guys.